RE Invest 2015, and the Minister will be giving answers to those questions, which will be live streamed on the YouTube channel of the INB Ministry and various other YouTube channels along with India GOV portal. With us today is a very special guest, the guest who is known as Power Man, the guest who is entrusted with the responsibility by the Honorable Prime Minister to give 24/7 electricity to all households in the country. He is Minister of State, independent charge for power, coal and new and renewable energy. Shri Piyush Goyal, sir. Welcome to the platform, sir.
Thank you.
Before going for the questions, we would like to have an opening statement from your end, sir.
Well, thank you very much. It's indeed a pleasure to participate in this new initiative by the PIB. I compliment you for remaining abreast with the times and for your contemporary thinking to connect us with our people, to make us more responsible and responsive to the people's questions and concerns. And I do hope this initiative will be a grand success in the days to come. We are on the sidelines of Reinvest 2015, which to my mind is going to be the game changer in terms of India's growing renewable energy story. It is going to set new targets, new paradigm of growth, and will demonstrate to the world India's commitment to a clean and green future. The Honorable Prime Minister articulated this yesterday when he said renewable energy and correspondingly clean environment is an article of faith for him, and renewable energy is clearly something he is very passionate and committed to. Reinvest 2015 is going to be the leap forward in renewable energy space that Prime Minister Modi desires and wishes for the citizens of India. It is going to be a major initiative towards providing 24/7 power to the people of India, particularly in remote corners of the nation, the Dhanis, the tribals and far-flung areas. And through off-grid solutions, microgrids, we hope to connect all the people of India with this initiative. We hope the rooftop program will reach every home in this country. And I am quite convinced, given the support and encouragement that I have seen across sectors during this 3-day conference, this program will be a grand success and India will meet very challenging targets that we have set upon ourselves.
Oh, great opening statement, sir. Now we'll go to the questions from the people, sir. So first question I'll take, that is a 24 minutes before question. Like Shiva is asking, sir, school and colleges could have solar power supply for labs in rural areas. What about prompt renewable energy research in small university and colleges, sir? He is asking about the research and development, sir.
I think both points are very good. We can actually innovate in India much faster. I remember a conversation with Honorable Prime Minister where he asked me, why does India have to follow the world? Why cannot India lead from the front? And I think he was only articulating this young man's question. I would encourage schools and colleges both to look at setting up renewable energy or rooftop solar or small wind farms in their premises, as well as encourage young boys and girls to get into innovation. In the course of my interaction between yesterday and today with several youngsters, I already found a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of new ideas which our ministry is going to pursue and take forward.
Sir, one more question is coming from such a youth person, sir. He is asking, Mr. Ashutosh Mohan is asking, in what ways these initiatives are going to change job scenario both quality wise and quantity wise?
Thank you, Ashutosh. You raised a very pertinent question, because all that we are doing is focused towards skilling new people, creating skills amongst our citizens, encouraging manufacturing in India, encouraging a rapid rollout both for transmission, distribution, setting up new power plants, setting up solar and wind farms, having adequate facilities for repairs, operations, maintenance, all of which is going to be job creating. So when we look at setting up 100 gigs or a 1 lakh megawatt of solar and taking our wind farms up to 60,000 megawatt. Also getting biomass into the picture with 10,000 megawatt. All of this is going to mean jobs in manufacturing, jobs in setting up these solar and wind farms, jobs in repairs and maintenance and operations of these farms, jobs in reaching power to the people of India through distribution at the last mile. So I envisage this conference alone creating 1 million jobs for Indians.
Okay, sir, one more question from Ashutosh only. Like he is asking whether is India ready to provide this kind of workforce. So I think he is asking about the political will and the financial support for the same, sir.
Ashutosh, there are two elements to it. In India's readiness, we need to skill India. We need to develop the skills of Indians. So I believe that's a project that Prime Minister Modi has taken up on a war footing, and our ministry also is partnering with the Ministry of Power and Coal to set up universities or skill development centers in different parts of India. I am delighted to inform you that one of these initiatives was finalized yesterday with the Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Shri Chandrababu Naidu Garu, who suggested yesterday in a part of the conference that he would like to set up a university focused on the power sector in Andhra Pradesh, and I have already approved it, and I have requested him to allot us land so that we can quickly start working together to set up such a skill development center and university in Andhra Pradesh. We are already planning to set up one on the outskirts of Delhi. Similarly, in terms of political will and finance, both of these are not lacking in this country. We have a government at the center led by the inspirational, decisive and honest leader in Shri Narendra Modi, who believes in action, who believes in outcomes, who believes in empowering Indians to become self-sufficient. And I can assure you, both the political will is available and there is enough money for good initiatives such as renewable energy.
Wonderful news for the youth of the country, sir, I suppose. Now, the second question, the next question is coming from Sai Manoj Kodiala. He is asking, when can we expect smart metering to start in the country? This would provide an incentive for people to shift to solar.
Sai, that's a very important element you have flagged off. What we are doing is we are launching two new initiatives, the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana for the rural areas and the Integrated Power Development Scheme for the urban India. In both these schemes, we've kept an element of smart metering. We are proposing two things. One is we are going to meter the power that is transmitted through the value chain from the generator right up to the last man, up to the distributor and supplier of power at the last stage, so that we can identify where the losses are taking place, both technical and maybe even power theft. So we are segregating the entire transmission chain to be able to identify where we need to address the losses problem, and that will bring down the power cost if we are able to reduce T&D losses. Second, we are looking at smart meters at the consumer end. One very important element I have learnt in the last few months, so far the country has been talking of smart meters as being worth 8,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, because we are looking at really over the top smart meters. I realized that we don't need a Mercedes Benz. What we need is a small car, maybe a Nano or a small Santro, which can reach us to the destination, give us all the comfort and value, and yet be a proposition which India can afford. Similarly, in smart meters, I have asked my officials to see what is really the essential inputs that the smart meter should have. So we may not be able to cover the whole nation with 8,000 and 10,000 rupees smart meters, but maybe if an intermediate solution, maybe 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 rupees, where we have connectivity with the network, where the information can flow directly from the smart meter into the computer systems at the back end, where we can eliminate human interface and possibly eliminate corruption if it exists. All of these things is our objective. We are looking at cost-effective solutions. The new electricity amendments that have been introduced in Lok Sabha in December have proposed that every consumer who consumes more than 1,000 units per month to begin with, will be covered by a smart meter.
I think, sir, you are indicating towards a technology of the India, for the India and by the India, sir.
Well, Prime Minister Modi, as I said earlier, is very passionate about digital India, and Make in India is the flagship program of the government.
True, sir.
I believe when you give an opportunity to my fellow Indians, they can innovate far better than anywhere in the world. And my own personal experience in the last few months have been that the best ideas and the most effective solutions have come from our young boys and girls from India, from the universities and colleges of India. I don't know if you remember the interaction I had with school children on 14 December on the World Energy Conservation Day.
True.
To my mind, it was the most enjoyable interaction I've had in my 9 months in office. Those young boys and girls from far off places like the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep and Sikkim and Tripura on the other side came up with such innovative ideas that I have become a fan of Young India.
Okay, sir. Now, somebody is asking about your expectations from the budget, sir. Mr. Tahir is asking what you expect from Arun Jaitley ji to support the expansion of renewables.
Tahir bhai, I believe that India and particularly my ministry can stand on its own feet. My expectations are that he helps me to facilitate my participants of the renewable energy business, be they developers, be they manufacturers. All of them need facilitation, need support, need clarity of policy, need sustainable and predictable policy, need stability, and want to get rid of tax terrorism. I think if we get these elements and possibly some support in terms of removing the inverted duty structure to help our manufacturers, I am delighted and happy. Everything else is relatively less important. It's not about whether I get a few 100 crores more or less. I can live without that. But I certainly need my finance minister to give me stable and predictable policy and help our Indian entrepreneurs to work without fear, to work and focus on their job rather than looking after tax inspectors.
Okay. So, from policy and budget, we will take another question from Kailash Bhatt, who is asking, we improve the distribution sector of the country, otherwise renewable energy plants will turn into financial unviable.
Kailash is absolutely right. I think he's really researched the subject before asking me this question. Sir, I agree with you. The distribution sector needs reform. I have already started a dialogue with the states, and I've had 2 interactions with the states, one at their secretary level, one at their ministerial level. Next month, we are having another conclave of the state ministers. I can assure you that fortunately now all states understand that good economics makes for good politics. They all understand that the people of India will not forgive any government that does not perform well, and in that sense we are getting a great deal of support from the states. If at all there is some shortcomings, I am sure the states will come up gradually and understand the importance of reform, importance of improving their own DISCOM working. Simultaneously, I think we also have to appreciate the reality that there are large parts of India that are underserved, they don't have energy access. They need to be provided with cheap energy because they have problems in paying for expensive power. So, we will work in partnership with the states, with the suppliers of energy and with the central government, working as Team India to give affordable and good quality 24/7 power access to all citizens of India.
Okay. Good news for the Indians, sir. Then we are going to the Vinay Agarwal's question, who is asking, sir, when will we have solar panels on trains and other government buildings?
Vinay, that's a very good idea. I think I'll talk to Shri Suresh Prabhu, the Honorable Minister of Railways, who had held a session this afternoon in our conference. He's also coming in the valedictory tomorrow. I'll certainly flag off this suggestion. It's a brilliant suggestion, and I'll have to get it assessed technically for its viability. But if it can work, I assure you we'll make it work.
Okay. Sir, one person, Mr. Srihari Balakrishnan, he is from Tamil Nadu and he wants to ask you, Tamil Nadu got the award for renewable energy. but not a single windmill runs in a windy season. Why?
Very good question, as some persons here are also flagging off. The award they got was more for the fact that they have been proactive in their work. They have been amongst the principal players in the renewable energy space, and they have also participated in our ambitious targets in the future. The point you raised is a valid concern, which Tamil Nadu government has also flagged off with me. Their problem is that being a state which is investing heavily in renewable energy, they are at a disadvantage because their domestic grid, their state grid, has to take the entire burden of renewable energy that is produced in that state. This is a concern several states who are large players in renewable energy have flagged off with me. It's a concern which has evolved over time, recently flagged off with me, and I sympathize with them. I'm looking at new solutions where the states which don't have renewable energy will be penalized heavily for not participating in our efforts to go green, and will compensate states like Tamil Nadu who have actually done a good job. Secondly, we are trying to expand the grid into regional grids, so that the impact on the frequency or the transmission grid of heavy dose of renewable energy, which is often quite unpredictable, which is often more expensive, is shared or socialized over a larger area and will not be a burden for the people of Tamil Nadu. So I am seized of this problem. I will not blame any one state entirely for it. It's a thing which we will have to work together with all states and resolve.
I think, sir, your answer not only satisfies the query related to Tamil Nadu, but for all other states as well, sir. Now, we will take the question from Neeraj, who is asking, renewable energy takes longer time. You are seeding something which will give fruits after 10 years. So, what's till then, sir?
My friend, I entirely feel you have been misguided. Renewable energy, on the contrary, happens faster than anything else. When you want to set up a coal-based plant, you need 4 or 5 years. Whereas when you set up a solar plant, you can do it in less than a year. A wind plant can be set up in a year, year and a half, sometimes even earlier. The challenge of setting up a wind and solar plant is that we need to simplify the processes. I'm already in dialogue with states to see if we can get them to allow change of land user automatically. I'm in dialogue with the Honorable Environment Minister to see if we can simplify the approval process from the environment side, maybe even allow self-certification or third-party certification, so people don't have to come to government for approval. And I'm in dialogue with states and private parties to see if we can more and more use barren land, wasteland, desert land to set up renewable energy plants, so that we don't affect the farmers, we don't take land of the farmers, we don't affect the food production and food security of India, but in fact use such land which is today having no economic value for the landowner. A person who owns land in a barren area really has no income out of that land. But if we can make him a stakeholder on these projects, without him having to sell the land, he can lease out the land to the renewable energy projects, and through the lease process become a stakeholder, can earn money for maybe every unit of electricity that's generated, or maybe earn a monthly rent out of that land and still remain the owner of that land. So we are looking at innovative solutions to make this project happen quickly and ramp it up fast.
So I think, sir, you are believing in everything that is waste is not waste, that can be used for something.
Well, I believe in waste to energy.
So now Babul is asking very immediate question, like, I don't have 24/7 power supply even in the developed South India. Please tell me when it will be possible.
Babul, one of the big challenges that India has is that our transmission and distribution capabilities have not kept pace with the demand for power. Also, we have power plants which have come up in different parts of India, but the integrated and holistic planning to ensure that they have evacuation capacity and power can reach the length and breadth of India was not done over many years. I remember when Delhi had a power crisis last summer, one of the first lessons I learnt was that despite having power all around Delhi, which I could have easily fed into Delhi to ensure that the residents of Delhi don't have a problem, I was unable to do it because there were not enough transmission lines. For South India, I have surplus power in Chhattisgarh, in Gujarat, in Madhya Pradesh. I have surplus power, literally enough to power every home in South India without having any power cut. But I am unable to transmit it for lack of adequate power transmission capacity. The government is embarking on a major mission mode project and will probably be investing close to $50 billion. That's 3 lakh crore rupees in the next 4 or 5 years to enhance the transmission and distribution infrastructure and make a seamless grid across India, so that wherever there is need for power, we can move power to that region.
Sir, before starting the platform, we thought that we'll take questions only related to RE Invest. But there is very interesting question that I'd like to ask from Mr. Vaibhav is asking, sir. What is the pressure to be a part of Modi government?
Vaibhav, actually there is no pressure. It's great fun because he empowers us. To date, the Honorable Prime Minister has not asked me to do a single thing which is illegal. Has not asked me to favor one person in the 9 months that we have been in government. Has never told me to do anything which is unethical. And imagine if I can work with a leader who empowers me to do my bit, who empowers me to run a conference and reset the targets of India 5 times what the original target was, who encourages me to think big, to think bold, to think to scale, who encourages me to do an auction of coal blocks in an honest and transparent fashion, which will earn the eastern states of West Bengal, Odisha, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, also to some extent Telangana, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh, with several lakh crores of rupees for helping them develop their region into a status which can be comparable to the rest of India. The kind of empowerment I get, the kind of inspiration I get, the kind of visionary ideas that I get from him actually encourage me to do more, encourage me to work more, and the pressure is zero. In fact, the only pressure is that I want to do better than what I am doing. The pressure is internal to me. I want to serve the nation a little more than what I am doing.
Okay, great,
and I love to work with him.
Our best wishes to you, sir, for that. We'll again come back to the topic, sir, RE Invest. That Narayan Balaji, he is asking, will you consider leasing out rooftops from urban dwellers to install solar panels to augment energy? Individuals find it very costly.
Well, that's a good suggestion. It's food for thought for me. But ideally, I believe government has no business to be doing this kind of business. It will have to be more driven by maybe cooperatives. If the individuals find it stressful, maybe we can create smaller cooperatives. Housing societies could get together. The local areas could work together. There could be agglomerators. Young entrepreneurs, 4 or 5 entrepreneurs may get together and set up this as a business model. But if government starts doing it, you will have the corresponding harassment, then inspectors, bill collectors. I don't think people want any more of that. So ideally, I would like it to be worked at by private entrepreneurs, and we have in our solar mission a plan to create Surya Uddamis, entrepreneurs, solar entrepreneurs, all across the country, and we'll be shortly unveiling that scheme also.
Okay, great, sir. Now, Abhinav Amin is asking, can we become globally competitive? Our manufacturers were still not up to the mark. I think he is indicating towards Make in India and RE Invest Summit.
I think he's raised a very valid point. You may be aware that sometime back our manufacturers had sought an anti-dumping duty, and the country was almost on the verge of providing for that anti-dumping duty. But when I had a dialogue with the manufacturers, I realized they had very genuine concerns, very genuine problems, which if we were able to address, may not be in 1 month, 2 months, but in a couple of years, 2 or 3 years. I have the confidence that our Indian manufacturers have the ability to be the best in the world and to be the most competitive in the world. And based on mutual trust and the dialogue we had, I am very happy that the Indian manufacturers realize that that anti-dumping duty would be detrimental not only to national interests, not only to the interests of our solar mission ramping up fast, but to their own interests. Because unless India plans to scale, unless we have demand of tens of thousands of megawatts, Indian manufacturers won't be able to earn the benefits of economies of scale. So they withdrew their anti-dumping duty, and now we are working as partners, as friends, and we are trying to facilitate their business to make sure we can get the best of technology, we can get international partners to come in and set up manufacturing in India. We are working towards indigenization of components, and I am quite confident, give the Indian manufacturers the freedom and ability to work, give them visibility of business in the next few years so that they can confidently invest human capital, money, and their own innovative skills. We will be the best in the world.
I think, sir, lot of hope and lot of faith in the Indian entrepreneurs, sir. Now, again, we are taking some offbeat, one more offbeat question, sir. Very interesting. Somdat is asking, you were the minister in waiting for Barack Obama. Why only you?
Well, I have no comments. That choice is of the senior leaders. But I can only tell you, it was a very pleasant experience. He was a very warm person, and it was an opportunity for me to speak about the people of India. It was an opportunity to speak about our rich cultural heritage and tradition. We were able to talk about his oratorial skills, of which I am a big fan. I don't know if any of you has heard his speech in the National Democratic Convention of July 2004, where he really emerged as amongst the tallest leaders of America with a very powerful message for the American people. And at that point, he commented on two of India's finest orators, both of whom I have had the privilege of working with. He spoke about Prime Minister Shri Vajpayee, who was then Prime Minister around that time, and he said he has always looked up to Prime Minister Vajpayee as a wonderful orator, and then he brought it back to Prime Minister Modi and said he was a big fan of Prime Minister Modi's oratorial style. So in that sense, it was very, very exciting for me to hear from him about two leaders, both of whom have been my mentors. I've worked closely with both of them, and amongst other things, I can only tell you he was quite inspirational in his concerns for the environment and climate change, and was very, very impressed with Prime Minister Modi's own vision for a clean and green India. I'm sure with the chemistry and the bonding I saw between President Barack Obama and our Honorable Prime Minister Modi, I'm sure we have great things to look forward to in the Indo-US relations going forward.
Sir, from your answer, I will say there are not two orators only, there is a third orator as well. Many of the youth are fan of your oratory skills as well, sir. So, one more question, sir. Ajay Pal is asking, your policies seem favorable to big enterprise. What about people like me, middle class, and their businesses?
In fact, sir, all my policies are for favoring the MSME sector, the people of India, and particularly the poor people of India. In fact, if at all I am hated by anybody today, it is the big industry. I have taken away all the freebies that they had been enjoying, and have done an honest process of auctioning coal blocks, for which now they have to pay money rather than getting it free, which they have been enjoying for so many years. I have with me the data, and you will be very happy to know we have already concluded the auction of 5 mines, and look at what we have achieved. Talabara 1 is a mine which is for the power sector, and all the coal that is going to come out of that will be used for giving power to the people, in which the fuel costs will be considered zero, and on the contrary, the industrialist will pay 478 rupees to the state government of Odisha for every ton of coal that they mine. So power cost, fuel cost will be zero, plus 478 rupees to the state of Odisha. Similarly, Sari Satholi is a power block situated in West Bengal, where it's a non-power block, where it's a power block where they will give zero cost to the people of the power consumers, plus give 470 rupees to the state of West Bengal. We have 3 non-power blocks which have been won in auction. One in Madhya Pradesh called Sial Gogri, it's an underground mine which is very difficult to mine. For every ton of coal, 1,402 rupees will be paid to the government of Madhya Pradesh, which can be used for the people of Madhya Pradesh's service. In Belgaum in Maharashtra, a mine has been auctioned at 1,785 rupees per ton. And for a mine in Jharkhand called Kathotia, the winning bid will pay 2,860 rupees for every ton of coal. So you can imagine what were the freebies being given to all of these industrialists, which I snatched away from them to serve the poor people of India. And if at all there's somebody who's hated by big business, by big enterprise and industrialists of this country today, I think I must rank as, what is that show on television? They would love to probably pump me off now. What is that show that everybody likes to watch? I'm the criminal for the big industrialists today. But all my efforts, young man, are to serve the people of India. When I'm talking of cheaper power, it is for the poor people. When I'm talking of energy access for all, it is for the poor people. When I'm talking of farmers getting adequate power so that their farms don't have to suffer for lack of water, it is for the poor farmers of India. My job as minister is to ensure the people of India benefit, the people of India get cheap, affordable, adequate power so that they can lead a better life and I can meet their aspirations.
I think, sir, due to time constraint, we are coming towards end of this session with lots of hopes, lots of faith in youth and their energy, a secure future and secure present. I hope the minister could answer to most of the questions, and then he could really connect with all of you, and he could give maximum answers and resolve your queries as well. We'll like to connect with him again in future with some different issue.
I'll be happy to come whenever you want me.
Before going off, sir, we'll like to take your closing statement as well, sir, and a message to the youth of the country.
You know, about a couple of months ago, in a presentation I was making to the Honorable Prime Minister, one of the officials was talking about a certain policy which would have helped provide cheaper power to the people of India, but would have caused a loss to a public sector undertaking of about 2,000 or 2,500 crores. It was a policy decision my ministry had taken, and while reporting to the Prime Minister, we were flagging off the fact that the department or the particular undertaking is very concerned about that loss and is raising a hue and cry and complaining about it, but the corresponding benefit is going to the people of India in terms of cheaper power. And he turned to me and he said, and I would like the youth of India to hear this very carefully, because this is the thinking behind Prime Minister Modi's vision for India and his passion to work for the people of India and their welfare. He turned to me and he said, and I'll say it in Hindi and then translate it. He said, "Kab tak हम एक कंपनी या एक डिपार्टमेंट के प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस की चिंता करेंगे? कभी किसी ने इस देश में भारत की इस पूरे देश के प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट बनाया है? एंड इन अ वे इट सम्स अप द थिंकिंग ऑफ दिस गवर्नमेंट ऑफ द ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर. Till when are we going to see the profit and loss of one company or one department or one sector? It is now time that we saw the profit and loss of the country as a whole, of the people of India, and the aspirations of the people of India are connected with the profit and loss of the nation. The sense he was giving was that we will have to look at meeting the aspirations of the people of India. We will have to recognize their concerns. We will have to be a more conscious government so that every action of this government connects with the last man on the street and his future, his healthcare, his education, his energy access, his skill development, his job in the future. And I think that has been an inspirational message for me. I would like this message to go to the youth of India. I would like them to connect with every program of this government, be it the Swachh Bharat campaign, be it the major thrust towards sanitation. And my ministry is making over 100,000, 1 lakh toilets in the schools in rural India, all across the country. And I would like all of you to participate in these programs, whether it's the skill development, whether it's Make in India, the Digital India campaign, the Jan Dhan Yojana, the Swachh Bharat campaign. All of these are really public participation, what you call bhagedari. It is the people of India who have to take this message, take these programs forward. I had started my political career in a cleanliness drive in the late 70s when I was 13 or 14 years old. My mother had taken me to a chawl in Sayan Kolivada. It's a place in Mumbai from where she used to represent as a public representative and do her social work. I remember spending a whole day with boys and girls of my age, between the age of 13 and 18. My sister was there, I was there, all the young. It was a Leo Club initiative, a subsidiary of the Lions Club. And I remember that was the first project I did. But it was so inspirational that way back 40 years ago also, the Bharatiya Jansangh then, which later became the Bharatiya Janata Party, was thinking in terms of Swachhata. The Honorable Prime Minister has now scaled it up at a much higher level. If all youngsters in this country take this up as their mission, I'm sure we'll do it even faster than 2019. Please connect with government on all these projects. Please participate in nation building and make these your projects rather than the projects of the government. Okay. Thank you very much.
Our best wishes to you, sir. On behalf of INB Ministry, I would like to thank the Honorable Minister. Thank you, sir.